Assalamu alaikum. I'm your host Salim Akhtar Malik on the Salim's Post channel. On this channel, I discuss national and international affairs, social science, and defense issues. I request you to subscribe to my channel by clicking the bell icon. In this session, I'll talk to you about Pakistan's option of a demonstration nuclear explosion. Expressing their views on the post-Pahalgam situation between India and Pakistan, some Pakistani analysts advocate that if the escalation ladder wobbles and gets out of Pakistan's control, it should deny India a new normal through a demonstration nuclear explosion. Such an act, they think, would reinforce Pakistan's stance of a future first use of atomic weapons if India crosses Pakistan's oft repeated red lines. There is nothing apparently wrong with it. That is, there is nothing apparently wrong with the idea. India has a comprehensive and published nuclear doctrine which professes no first use, but claims a massive response in case of a nuclear attack by Pakistan. However, the doctrine has been under attack during the last few years. What was the logic behind India's no first use doctrine? Since 1998, when Pakistan became a declared nuclear power, India had been frantically trying to find the gap in Pakistan's defense posture and exploit it with its superior conventional forces. The Indians perceived such a gap at the tactical level, which they thought could be breached through a low intensity, rapid advance into enemy territory with mechanized forces supported by the Indian Air Force. Hence, the Cold Start doctrine, which called for a quick punitive operation through a shallow penetration inside Pakistani territory in response to Pakistan crossing a declared red line, destroying Pakistan's men and material, followed by a swift withdrawal, thus denying the Pakistan army time and excuse to retaliate. It was a reactive doctrine and not one of preemption. However, like 1971 war, it aimed at creating a trap where Pakistan would be channeled into a situation to be used as an excuse for a military action. Related to the India-Pakistan security paradigm, two important developments have taken place in the last 3 decades. After establishing the infrastructure on the ground, completing the redeployment of their field formations along the western border, and establishing the launching platforms, India has disowned Cold Start by saying that it is not an official military doctrine. Second, Indian defense analysts have expressed doubts on the no first use policy. They maintain that the policy lacks flexibility and must be reversed to counter the Pakistani nuclear threat. Pakistan does not have a declared nuclear doctrine except what we gather and presume by the pronouncements of various Pakistani mandarins and defense analysts. By putting the fragmented information together, we form a picture where Pakistan retaliates to a conventional Indian onslaught, say an armor breakthrough in the Sialkot sector, by employing tactical nuclear weapons inside Pakistani territory. According to Lieutenant General Khalid Kidwai, a former Director General, Strategic Planning Division, Pakistan will also retaliate with nuclear weapons if India attempts a naval blockade of Pakistani ports. Pakistan's atomic policy mirrors Stephen Cohen's assumptions. The South Asian affairs expert Professor Stephen Cohen, who helped the Indian Army formulate its Cold Start doctrine of reactive response, calls Pakistan's first strike warning an option enhancing policy. The Pakistani doctrine entails a stage by stage level of advancement in which the nuclear threat is increased at each step to deter India or any aggressive state from attacking. The contemplated steps would be: Step 1, a public or private warning. Step 2, a demonstration atomic test of a small atomic device on Pakistani soil. Step 3, the use of a nuclear weapon or weapons on Pakistan's soil against foreign attacking forces. Step 4, the use of a nuclear weapon or weapons against critical but purely military targets on foreign soil, probably in thinly populated areas in the desert or semi-desert, causing the least collateral damage. This is possibly to prevent retaliation against Pakistani cities. There is no such thing as a tactical nuclear weapon. This is because a nuclear attack at the tactical level may have strategic implications, prompting the adversary to raise the level of response. If, for example, Pakistan retaliates against a conventional Indian onslaught with tactical nuclear weapons, India may counter with a strategic response of a major nuclear attack, a full-scale nuclear attack against Pakistan. Now, according to international estimates, Pakistan's nuclear arsenal is larger than India's, which means that Pakistan will launch a second strike with an even greater force. Pakistan is experimenting with firing cruise missiles from its existing nuclear capable submarines. It is also acquiring new submarines for this purpose from China. However, India and Pakistan will collapse before they reach the second strike stage. In his facts based novel, The Third World War, The Untold Story, General Sir John Hackett wrote in 1978 a fictional Third World War between NATO and Warsaw Pact forces, which breaks out in 1985. The general brings the story to its end when the Soviet Union launches a nuclear missile strike against Birmingham, England. The United States and Royal Navies retaliate with a joint nuclear strike on Minsk, which results in the unraveling of the Soviet Union. And that was when the belligerents were superpowers. In his book, The Fourth Round, Indian defense analyst Ravi Rikhe opens his narrative by describing a fictional Indian attack on the Kahuta facility, which expands into a major war between India and Pakistan. The war ends in a stalemate. Be seeing you.